welcome to Silverstone for round 10 of this F1 2016 career mode season, the British Grand Prix. And that's our home race, of course, and we are desperately looking to stand on the top step of that podium to put right the absolute farcical race we had last time out at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. A race that was won by Lewis Hamilton, of course. He'll be looking to build on his momentum, moving within 4 points of us in the championship proceedings. And with Daniel Ricciardo's retirement from the Austrian Grand Prix, Mercedes clearly moving ahead at the top of the Constructors Championship. And we'll take a look at those championship standings in just a moment's time. So here are those championship standings then, and as mentioned just previously, Hamilton's win in Austria moves him to within 4 points of our championship lead that we've had, I think, pretty much since the first race of the season. I think we have anyway. Rosberg there demoted to third, our teammate down in sixth, and just still not getting any luck whatsoever this season, still just the one appearance on the podium for him, although we had some fantastic racing between the two Red Bull teammates last time out. And a look at the bottom half of the standings reveals that there are still 4 drivers yet to score a point: Palmer, Nasser, Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein. At a look at the Constructors Championships, we have Mercedes opening up a 44-point gap now to our Red Bull Racing team. Ferrari back there 70 points behind. Williams leading McLaren, the two of those having a real ding-dong battle this season. And still the Sauber team, the only team who are yet to score a point so far. So with the championship standings out of the way, let's hand you over to the commentary team of Anthony Davidson and David Croft.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, along with 2 DRS zones on the Wellington and Hanger Straights respectively. But the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. With me today is a man who's no stranger to the thrills of Silverstone. He's a past winner here in sports cars, of course. It's our good friend Anthony Davidson. You seem particularly excited for this one, Ant. Is there something you want to tell me?
Oh, just looking forward to it, Crofty. It's always a very special atmosphere, and also I started karting in the late 1980s, and I was here for that epic race in 1986 with Mansell and Piquet fighting each other right here in my home Grand Prix. So coming back to Silverstone always means a lot. And looking at the crowd today, it's clear that none of that spirit has been lost. And also, we just have such a fantastic field this year. Some very close competition and conditions that should make for some great racing. I can't wait.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Red Bull in pole position then, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Rosberg, Kimi Raikkonen and Vettel, Bottas, Massa, Alonso and Sergio Perez, Sainz, Kvyat, Nico Hülkenberg and Magnussen, Palmer, Button, Romain Grosjean, and Rio Haryanto, Gutierrez, and Nasser, Marcus Ericsson, and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Welcome to the grid for this British Grand Prix, possibly the most eagerly anticipated grid of the season for me so far, being our home race and everything. And as you just saw, qualifying, well, there's no other word for it. It was absolutely ridiculous, the pace advantage that we had, even over our teammate. I don't know why. I run this usually either on Expert or Master. I ran this race on Expert, so well, I ran the qualifying on Expert, so we bumped them up today. Hopefully we're not going to have too much dominance. Certainly Mercedes seem to come back towards us on race pace anyway. And so with that said, we take a look at the strategy, and I don't know if this is going to do the same shenanigans that it did in Austria. So first of all, let's take a look at the fuel. 26 laps. I'm actually going to put 25.5 in. I'm a bit concerned about the economy of this Tag Heuer branded Renault engine that we have in this car since we've been upgrading it. It doesn't seem as economical as it did. Let's see if we can change this, because I started on the mediums actually. So we're going to start on the mediums, go to the softs at the end with a middle stint on the hard. I always seem to get confused when I'm talking my way through this strategy. That's the way I think we're going to do it. Whether that'll be the fastest way, it's telling me it's not, but that's the way we qualified, and I'm all for realism. So that's the way we are actually going to do it. So, with the strategy confirmed, let's get ready for the formation lap.
racing. Daniel has come into the pits. Daniel in the pits now. Approaching the pit window, leaving the lights.
I just noticed that my microphone hasn't been recording this whole race so far. So you're going to have now the first 10 laps of this race without any commentary whatsoever. Lols. There's always something. Right, so that strategy worked out horribly for us. We're back behind our teammate, and also a Ferrari it looks like. Let's see how long these mediums will go. Well, they handle like shit straight out of the box, so I don't imagine they'll be going very far. My braking, not my brakes, but my actual braking could do with some work too. Just can't get this middle sector right. I'm acting like a right moron through there. What I really need is for my teammate to be letting me by. I have like 7% on one lap. Tile wear. This car does not have any change of direction. It's just so fucking understeery at the front. It hasn't done this all weekend. It was fine in qualifying, it was fine through practice, and now all of a sudden just bolted on understeer and I can't do anything about it. I can't even push the car into the brakes like I could earlier in the weekend. What the fuck is this all about? Seriously, I mean... Come on, turn! Fuck's sake! I want to be attacking that Mercedes and I'm going to have to defend from a fucking Ferrari. The third slowest car in the field is going to absolutely steamroll us because the handling of this car has just gone to shit in the weekend. I mean, the only saving grace is he's on softs. That's literally the only thing saving us right now. Is Vettel is on softs. I just can't push it consistently through that middle sector. I'm losing so much time there to everybody, it's unreal. Can't understand it.
Hamilton's in first place. Our teammate is 22.6 seconds.
That one corner, these two corners here, this car, it just will not get the nose in. I can't do it. I can't get the nose in through those corners, and I don't know why. Because all weekend this car's felt fantastic through that sector until the race. That's the first time I've actually hit the apex I've been getting all weekend through that long corner. That's been actually a decent end to those middle sectors there. Well, to that middle sector there. There's only one middle sector per track as far as I'm aware. The question is now, what tyre is everybody going on to? Because I don't see that they're all going on to the hard, so they're sticking with the strategy that I'm going for. Problem being, I don't see the hard tyre getting me to the end of the race. Alright, Hamilton's going to force us to pit earlier than I'd want to. We might yet get a run on the soft tyre. I actually thought this was a 36 lap race. It's a 26 lap race. So actually looking at that, the hard tyre might get us to the end of this race. Ricciardo's pitting again. How many stops is Ricciardo making in this race? That's like his third pit stop. Right, that's Hamilton. He's away and gone. But everybody else is pitting, and I'm not sure why that's happening. Right, can we make something happen on this hard tyre? We're going to have to cover off Vettel first and foremost. We've almost got enough fuel to go in the rich mix, which would be absolutely decent to do. We got Palmer out of the race. Which I had to slow my fucking pace to get that delta down. Right, let's see if we can do anything about that Mercedes. Palmer's out there. I think that was Palmer we just passed on the start-finish straight. Let's do it. I want this race win. We've lost Kvyat now as well. Right, let's go. Head to head with Lewis for the race win here at Silverstone. 43 versus 44 for the win. We're in DRS. Was that a blow up by Hamilton or was that a locked brake? Whatever it was, he was very slow. Come on, let's get him. There we go. Let's try not to throw it away by doing the same thing we did at the start of the race, Paul. Oh, where am I going? Understeer became oversteer then. We haven't won this race yet. Gonna need everything we have. In the next 7 laps, 6.5 laps. This is gonna be pressure. To beat the master of Silverstone to win our first home race, and we are going to have to beat him. Try and avoid locking the brakes too many times. This is a scenario I actually was really hoping for, was a head-to-head between the top 2 British drivers, and also at the minute, let's not forget, the top 2 in the championship. This was what I was hoping for. And it seems as though I've got what I wanted. Right up in the rich. I don't know why, but we put these hard tyres on. Our car has absolutely come alive. I'm loving these hard tyres. That was the strategy to be on, was the hard tyre to end the race. What does he have in response? Have we seen the last of Lewis Hamilton in this British Grand Prix? I'm not so sure that we have. Right, lap 24. And Hamilton has come back at us because we had a poor middle sector, and all of a sudden I'm not quite so happy with the handling of this car again. I made some mistakes in the middle sector and I have full on understeer again. Gonna lose me this race with this crap. Come on, Sauber. Hold that Mercedes up a bit. You could have done a better job than that. He's going to come. We're going to defend the inside, force him the long way round. And it's going to work just fine. I'm going to make a complete mess of braking for that chicane because I thought I was going to lose the back end of the car. And we're going to come to start the last lap of this race. And we're going to have contact. Woohoo! Where is he? Where is he? Where is Hamilton in that Mercedes? Did he go off track? He's still right behind me, I think. He thought he was going around the outside. I wasn't having any of it. We made some contact. And I just had to hold the car to stop her going round. It's going to come down to the last DRS zone. Is he in range? I'm not sure he is. Let's put it in rich anyway. He might be now. He might be now. Get that understeer. Defend that inside. Defend that inside like it is yours to own. And come out of the last corner to end an epic battle with Hamilton and win the British Grand Prix. Woo!
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And as the adrenaline dies down after another eventful Grand Prix, here come the top three out onto the podium.
Oh, what a race that was. What I wanted for this race was for me and Hamilton to go head to head for the win. And that was everything I could have wished for. Couldn't have asked for it any better. I literally couldn't. What was it? Just over half a second in the end. I nearly threw it away at the last chicane. Almost thought I was going to lose the back end, but... Oh... The sweat is pouring off of me. Jesus Christ. Ricciardo came fourth in the end. Couldn't quite sneak a second podium of the year. A terrible race for Nico Rosberg as I punched myself in the headset through absolute joy. All the way down in 9th place. He's had a nightmare couple of races. Both McLarens in the points. Alonso 8th and Jenson Button 10th. Okay, let's gather my thoughts. Gather my thoughts a second and see just what that does for the Drivers' Championship. It means we extend our lead to 11 points from 4 over Lewis Hamilton. Rosberg remains there in 3rd place, then the 2 Ferrari drivers. My teammate Ricciardo in 6th. The only change really in the top 10 between Massa and Perez. Massa going above Perez into 9th there. And still those same 4 drivers in the bottom half of the championship yet to get off the mark. Palmer, Nasser, Ericsson and Verline all on 0 points. And now the Constructors Championship. And we can see Mercedes there. Still leading the way, but with Rosberg coming down the order, that lead has been cut. 27 points now. It was 44 coming into the weekend. Ferrari also closing up a bit with Vettel getting 3rd place there. And no other changes in position. It's all as you were before we started the race. And so, on that note, can't really call it a bombshell. On that note, guys, that is going to do it for this British Grand Prix, Round 10 of F1 2016 Career Mode. I will catch you in the next episode for Round 11. And so until then, take care. Goodbye.